Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is all the news that you have to know surrounding the fourth stimulus check. We got some developing news going on in Congress surrounding a $1,200 and even $2,000 monthly stimulus check. So you want to be sure to stand to the end of this video to find out the latest news surrounding stimulus payments.
My plan is going to allow that. Every other type of healthcare service, from the cost of a doctor's, how much a doctor can charge for a visit, hospital visit, crutches, wheelchairs. Medicare is allowed to negotiate and say, we'll pay no more from the Medicare than the following amount for those things.
As I said in my previous videos, Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi have pledged to follow a two-track strategy to pass a $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill. This massive spending bill could include more stimulus relief for millions of Americans, which means we might get a fourth stimulus check before next month. And I'm really hoping for this bill to be passed, everybody. I want to see our Democrats and Republicans do all that it takes to help out the American people. There are many Americans across the country in need of financial help, so a fourth stimulus payment is definitely necessary. Do you guys agree? Leave a comment down below saying yes or no. Now you guys have to know this. Joe Biden's economic vision has taken a major step toward becoming reality. And that's after the US Senate passed two infrastructure measures. The Senate last week advanced a $3.5 trillion budget blueprint. And this will tackle things like climate change, healthcare, and Medicare. And that's a day after approving a $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill that is used to rebuild the nation's crumbling roads and bridges. So even as Senate Democrats congratulate themselves on pushing through both measures, the fate of Biden's economic priorities rests on House Democrats, clearing several more hurdles.
They have this brilliant idea that they want to privatize Social Security. These multimillionaires, and in some cases billionaires, think it's a great idea to cut benefits for working people when they get to Social Security age. They want to raise the retirement age.
Yes, everybody, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer must unite the Democratic Party, and as well as the Republicans, in order for us to receive a fourth stimulus check. This must happen first. So do you think it's going to happen, everybody? Do you think that Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi will be able to join forces and send out the fourth stimulus check? Leave a comment down below saying yes or no.
Before Social Security, 50% of seniors in this country lived in poverty. Before Social Security, when people had problems with disabilities, they were out there on their own.
Liberal Democrats, who have bristled at seeing their top climate and social priorities jettisoned, as Biden sought a bipartisan compromise, may seek to change elements of the package, which could upend the delicate legislation. Now, at a minimum, everybody, progressives have insisted the House delay considering the bipartisan infrastructure bill until the Senate passes a far larger climate and health bill. And that's something not expected until this fall. In order to deliver on President Biden's agenda.
For women workers who are now making 79 cents on the dollar. That's a pretty easy one. Joe, Willie, Mike, Mika, real unemployment in this country is not 5%. It is close to 10%. Youth unemployment is off the charts. African American youth unemployment and underemployment is 51%. Guess why we have more people in jail than any other country? Because kids they're not in school, they're not working. We got to address that problem. So what do? We create a massive federal jobs program to put our people back to work.
Democrats are pushing for a two-track approach that involves Congress passing two measures, starting with the $1 trillion bipartisan compromise and then a $3.5 trillion budget blueprint. The Democrats' plan is backstopped from Speaker Pelosi, and she said that the House will not take up the bipartisan infrastructure bill until the Senate first passes the reconciliation bill, which will take weeks to hammer out in the 50-50 Senate. The move by Pelosi is aimed at trying to balance the competing demands between progressives demanding maximum spending and conservatives. When the Speaker navigated through a similar two-track strategy, the bill passed without any problems. And now Pelosi holds a razor-thin majority in the House, and she can only afford 3 Democratic defections to pass the bipartisan bill and the reconciliation bill if the votes are along party lines. On Wednesday, Pelosi reaffirmed her position to House Democrats. She said that they would have to pass the $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill first, before moving forward with a bipartisan bill. What are your thoughts on Nancy Pelosi, everybody? Is she doing all that it takes to help out the American people? Leave a comment down below saying yes or no. This means that Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer will need his committee chairs to finalize the language of the reconciliation bill and gain the approval of centrist Democrats like Joe Manchin. In addition to complications like this, Sinema and Manchin have sounded the alarm in recent days over the cost of this budget blueprint. But the good news is this: the heads of some of the largest minority businesses have gathered on Capitol Hill and are praising key elements of the latest infrastructure bill. As a result of their lobbying, the final version of the Senate bill includes a bipartisan amendment that would make the Minority Business Development Agency a permanent part of the federal government and expand its budget from $42 million to $110 million. This act will help small businesses and minority-owned businesses across the country. It's going to provide more funding for you guys and help many people out, which is great news. So thank you everybody for watching. Until next time, have a great day and stay safe. And if you have any more questions surrounding the fourth stimulus check, then leave them in the comments below.
Over the last year, we didn't lose a single American military personnel in combat, not one. Why were we still there? To keep the lid on so that this relatively stable situation would
is such a fine way, and their staffs as well. Now, Mr. President, it's been a long and winding road, but we have persisted, and now we have arrived. There were many logs in our path, detours along the way, but the American people will now see the most robust injection of funds into infrastructure in decades. In a few moments, the Senate will pass the bipartisan infrastructure bill, dedicating over $1 trillion to strengthen every major category of our country's physical infrastructure. It's been a long time in coming. Our economy is #1 in the world, but infrastructure ranks number 13. You'll find better roads, bridges, airports, broadband in the United Arab Emirates than in the United States of America. Today, the Senate takes a decades overdue step to revitalize America's infrastructure and give our workers, our businesses, our economy the tools to succeed in the 21st century. The bill will make large and significant differences in both productivity and job creation in America for decades to come. To my colleagues, particularly the group of 10, then 11, then 22, who worked so hard in a bipartisan way, congratulations on a job